Well, good afternoon everyone, in from DIY Home Gardening, 8th of April, glorious day, and well, wouldn't be a day off without doing some work in the garden, would it? So my plan today is not anything to do with the magnolia, but it's down the other part of the garden. Let's do a bit of lifting, dividing and propagation of Schizostylis, or Hesperantha as it's now known. So let's go and have a look, shall we? Okay, so that's the plant in question. As I say, Schizostylis was always the name it went by, but a few years ago it got changed to Hesperantha. No idea why. No one ever really says why. But it is a clump forming perennial, likes a nice sunny position, and as you can see, this section is no longer sunny. Basically just down to how things have evolved in the garden, things growing up, it now gets say shade cast upon it. So it's got to move anyway, and at the same time I might as well lift it and divide it up, propagate it, and so you can see that it's taken on to be quite a lump. It started off just as one small plant, 1 litre pot, about 4 years ago, and this is a light pink variety, and they are amazing for late summer through autumn for flowering. So I've got that one there, which is a pink one, and then that one there in the bed, that's a red one. That one's good. I only moved that a couple of years ago. So this is one in question. It's got to be, say, lifted, divided and then moved. Okay, so I find using a border fork the easiest way. You can use a spade. There's no real finesse way of getting this out other than by digging, to be honest. So I always start away from the plant itself just to help loosen it up, and you can kind of see what you're dealing with. So I'm not too worried about some of these smaller bits that are formed around the edges, as it will all be coming out. So you can see how shady it is by the fact that all this lichen's formed. So then get your fork right the way down, and you'll need to try and get underneath the plant. So we've got a bit of movement there. It helps that this soil is so fine. I'll say there's loads of bits all over the place. Kind of looks a little bit couch grass like. So just work away around. Don't worry too much if you're missing some of the small bits, because you can quickly whip them out once the main body of plants out. Right, so that's the main bit, and we got this other bit. Yeah, that's how it looks. So I'll just lift all of this out, shake off the soil, clean it up, and then we can have a look as to how best to divide that, propagate it. Well, managed to get it all out, went through the whole bed, and really important to get it all out, because otherwise it will keep spreading forevermore until you do. The advantage with it, I suppose, is that it's pretty shallow rooting, and with that being such a fine soil, it comes out really easily. So I take this over to the lawn and show you how to prepare it for dividing up and replanting. So here it is, all the Hesperantha, Schizostylis, call it what you will. So we end up with mixtures like that, where you can see last year's stems, flowering stems that is, with the fresh growth. Now you can sometimes snap them, but cut them down. I tend to use on this because it's quite a thin fleshy leaf. I tend to use scissors as opposed to secateurs, so you can tackle bits like that. And so we got all of this there, so sort out pieces to maintain a clump, clean it up as you go, and when we come to do planting, I'm going to cut that down like so. Just means that when you plant that, it's not going to suffer with wind rock and start falling over. So any bits that we sort out, we'll give it a tidy up and prune as we go. Obvious bits that are old and just dead, we get rid of. So I've got this as my good bucket, if you like, just because I want to make sure that I don't end up dropping bits, losing them. And then we've got this, which is a nice intact clump piece there that's past it. So again, if you got obvious old sections within your clump, pull them out, discard. Even if it's got that little bit of new there, it's not really worth hanging on to. And then when you're happy with what's left, so cut out the flowering stems, or the old flowering stems I should say. It will flower, even from what we're doing now, it will flower this year. It's one of those perennials where you treat it mean and it just comes back for more. So that's your clump there. Again, the easiest way to tackle this, pull the stems up, grab it as a bunch. So I tend to use my hand as a bit of a guide. Oh, chucked it into the wrong bucket, haven't I? Bit of a guide, chopped, and that's one nice clump there into the good bucket, not the rubbish bucket. And again, we'll just have a look at this. So you've got some nice pieces here with growth. Again, they can be cleaned up, snip it down, and just work your way through the clump, tackling each piece in turn really. So last couple of big bits there, well, half a dozen, so they're done. And quite frankly, I've got so much of this small stuff left, I can't be bothered to deal with it. And it makes plants so quickly that you'll soon, as I say, another few years you'll be lifting it up and wondering how on earth you came to have so many bits. Make sure pick all the bits up. And so yeah, this is my good bucket, which now consists of all of this as new healthy, vigorous plants. Keep that, discard those bits. So we got at that one clump all of these, and this is how I would normally work it out roughly for when I'm doing plantings. Sort of decent sized bundle like that. I mean, there's absolutely stacks of it, but so discard those pieces and that, and we end up with, well, we end up with 5 good bits. Now, just got to plant them now. So, potting up, super easy. These are 1 litre size pots, half fill. It's normal multi-purpose compost. Get your bundle and set it out, making sure all your roots are down. Hold it, and this is where you can see that having cut these flag sections down makes it so much easier to handle and to keep upright. Just firm around, making sure you're getting rid of those air pockets that can lead to excess water sitting in there and rotting. And that's your first one done. Let's do one more, so then go and plant the others. Let's do that one. It's a little bit smaller, so again, drop it down, compost. Always try and work my way round. Just make sure you get even coverage, and it helps to hold the plant up as well. Get it firm, and go and water it in. So that's potting done. Let's go and plant. So this is where I'm planning to plant. Should work really nicely against the giant alliums we've got going on there, and then there's some dahlia planted there, which is Kiwi Gloria. So it'll be a nice mixture of the pinks working, well, the pink of the Hesperantha working with those bits, the pink lilies, the Alstroemeria down there, and then Hydrangea Annabelle. So yeah, this is where they're going. Let's turn the camera around. So just like for most planting, well, all planting, you want to go in odd numbers, so 1s or 3s. This area here can easily take 3, so set out triangle formation, and by planting in odd numbers, it's naturally going to develop a roundish clump, which will look more aesthetically pleasing to the eye than if you just do 2, which ends up looking like a rectangle. So again, planting exactly the same as they were where you originally got them from. So make a nice hole. If you haven't done so beforehand, or if your soil's particularly poor, then I would always say to add in some fresh compost or fertiliser when you're doing your planting. But as I've redone this border in the autumn, it's already had all that. So dig in your hole deeper and wider than the size of the plant, drop it in, backfill, holding on to the flags above and firming around. Just repeat that process with the other couple, and that is all there is to it. So that is how to lift, divide and propagate and replant Schizostylis or Hesperantha. If you've got any questions on the subject, then please give me a shout. I'll always do my best to answer the messages for you.